Welcome to the Job Coaching Do's and Don'ts. I'm Shelley Lehman. I'm a Transition Improvement Grant Coordinator for the Northern Region. I serve CESAs 8, 9, and 12, and I thank you for joining me this afternoon. You are so important. Job coaches, paraprofessionals are a very important component in the overall success of a student's learning task and appropriate social skills in the workplace. You are a valuable member of the team, and it is our hope that this training will supply you with additional tools for the job. You are also important in the ongoing relationship between the community and your school district. The manner in which you deliver job coaching services will be viewed by individuals in the workplace and can be very influential in making change for people with disabilities in the workplace. What is a job coach? So many words come to mind when I think what a job coach is: trainer, improvement, coach, teacher, manager, practice, plan. A coach has to multitask in a lot of important areas. Here's a definition of the job coach. A job coach is a person who uses structured techniques to assist individuals with disabilities to learn and accurately carry out job duties. Job coaches provide on-the-job training and support the individual to adjust to their chosen work environment. With this support, individuals are able to become independent employees that can maintain employment. Job coaching is a balancing act for sure. You play an important role in connecting the teacher, school, student, and business. You communicate and collaborate with each one, keeping everyone informed and up to date on how the job is going. With the teacher, together you'll create a plan and communicate progress on the job. The teacher can help you become familiar with their IEP and if they have any behavior plans, as well as their post-secondary transition plan, so that you are familiar with the student's measurable post-secondary goals and transition services. With the student, you provide support and coaching and give feedback. It's also very important to get to know the student before you go to work. What are their interests, dislikes, experience, environmental preferences, and support system? With a business, you really need to get to know the business. What is their culture and their environment? What is their mission, values, and expectations and goals? Work to make connections with the business and what their preferred communication style is. We are now going to spend some time going over some specific do's and don'ts of job coaching. One of the most important pieces of supporting an individual on the job is on-the-job training. Most of the training is done by the job coach and takes place in the actual workplace. This involves instructions on all required tasks in order to assist your student to become independent and to strengthen their ability to complete the job successfully. It is important to keep a positive tone and focus in on what the student can do. You help set the tone of the environment and whole of the work experience. So really focus in on all the possibilities, ways to accommodate, and the positive that really helps sets the tone for the overall work experience. You are a role model for your student while out on the job site. Make sure to follow the same dress code, parking expectations, business slogans such as Quick Trip. Whenever a customer leaves, they'll end the conversation or greeting by saying, "See you next time." Take time to get to know what the expectations are for on the job and demonstrate to your student how to follow them. Know the business's vision, values, and mission statement. Build a relationship with the business. Again, the job coach duties are all about balance. You are there to support and provide feedback to both the employer, teacher, and student, but also to find the right balance in communication. Try to speak in clear, simple language. Avoid using technical jargon or acronyms such as IEP, BIP. Work with your teacher to find the best way to share progress and keep your information factual, provide examples. An important piece to communication is listening to what your student employer need. Pause before answering and think through your response. You don't have to know the answer right away. It's always good to get back to them if you are not sure. Always keep in mind the goal is for the student to become independent at the job. You may have to demonstrate and role model parts of the job task, but you shouldn't be doing the actual job for them. I know sometimes it feels wrong being on the work site and not working, but that is truly what you are there to do. You are a support for your student. This doesn't mean you go on break while your student works. You are always nearby and attentive to what your student may need. Ask the employer or the coworker to give directions and speak directly to your student, and you can assist as needed. Keep in mind the end goal is for the student to be independent at their job. You can be there to help facilitate a positive working relationship between the two. As we just talked about not doing the job for the student, you also don't want to appear unengaged while on the job. Again, it's a hard balance. It is hard not to jump in or to sit quietly while your student works. You also are representing the school and don't want to take a quick nap or be on your phone or read a book. You need to remain at the site, but also look and act professional. Get a feel for an appropriate place to be and activities to be working on. Working out in the community at a job site can be overwhelming. There is so much for the student to learn besides the job at hand. Be positive and encouraging by breaking tasks down one at a time and presenting them in a way that works best for the student. You may need to use less words and add in some visuals on the job. You can always find ways or places appropriate to hang pictures or visual prompts to help the student support the student. Also allow for pause between tasks or after direction. Students may need additional wait and pause time to process all that is to be done. Allow for space between you and your student. You don't want to be looking over their shoulder or creating anxiety as you watch their every move. Chris Jackson from Wauwatosa School District said it best: hovering masked natural supports. If you step back, you will be able to observe and allow for perhaps other fellow coworkers to step in and support, which is a more natural support in the workplace environment, as the intent is they won't always have to have a job coach. Keep in mind the prompting hierarchy. Least restricted environment is best practice at school and in the workplace. Keep in mind while providing support to do so by using a variety of prompts and moving through the hierarchy as skills are mastered. For example, a hand over hand would be a physical prompt in your most restrictive, down on the bottom of the hierarchy. You may place your hand over the student and place it on the broom to show the motion of sweeping. Moving up from there, actually modeling what the student is supposed to do would be next. Here you would actually sweep to model to the staff how it is done, to the student, I'm sorry. Gesturing would point to the broom or what needs to be done next. A direct verbal would be telling the student exactly what steps needs to be taken. Pick up the broom, and from there, an indirect verbal would be more of an open-ended prompt of, what should we do next? Moving up proximity would be placing items out that the student may need, and from there moving to visuals, pictures of directions of sweeping or items needed. Natural cues is the least restrictive, which would be something occurring naturally in the environment, which would prompt the student to do the job. Something spilled on the floor would prompt the student to sweep it up. Think through the hierarchy as you provide support and try to do so in the least restrictive way. Encourage students to go on break with other coworkers and join in any other activities with other staff on the job. Step back and allow for your student to build relationships with other coworkers. The goal is for the student to become independent in every way that includes being part of the team and in the work environment. There will be frustrating days and mistakes to be had. Several repetitions may be needed and you may feel impatient at times. Use strategies for yourself to keep your calm and don't forget to have fun and laugh as appropriate. Be aware of your school's policies. Have a plan in place with your supervisor and team describing what, how, when, etc. It is appropriate for you to talk with a parent, manager, coworker. Be cautious about sharing too much about the student and know when it is and isn't appropriate to disclose their disability. In these discussions, keep the information that applies to the job the student is doing and keep information like home life private. If you're not sure, ask first. You make a difference. Teachers overwhelmingly say they could not do this job without you, and you are a key player to your students' success. Thank you so much for your time. Contact me if you have any other further up questions or would like to further up on anything within the presentation, and feel free to reach out